Welcome back to the channel, James here, and if you are a high-ticket coach with a high-ticket offer looking to scale and make a ton more money, this video is going to be a very, very profitable one for you because it's made me a lot of money and it's something very, very dumb, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, if you run ads to a VSL funnel, a webinar funnel, a DM ad funnel where they'd message you and you send them their offer, whatever it could be, anything. If you're running ads, you know that if you can find a way to decrease your cost per lead, decrease your cost per call, you're going to make more money most likely. If you can go out there and have better leads coming through your funnel, who have more intent, who have more buy-in, not people who just randomly clicked on an ad without really caring about what's in it, you're going to make more money. And so I've got a strategy here that I found recently that absolutely is crushing for me. And it's basically the laziest fuck way to find winning ads for your VSL funnel or really any funnel that you're running as a high-ticket coach. Now, for context on what it is that I do, let me shrink my face for a second. Here's why you should really care about this. If you're a high ticket coach, I'm not somebody who's here coaches just regurgitating a bunch of shit from a mastermind. I am my very own business owner. I have an offer in a completely different space, in the e-commerce space, that does around $250,000 a month in cash collected, meaning that I actually practice what I preach. I am in the ads manager each day. I am making ads every single week. I am actually doing the stuff that you do as well, and all I do on this channel is share what actually works for me, what I learn along the way, so you can take it, apply it to your thing, and make a bunch more money as well. So if you're a high ticket coach and you want to make more money, I think you'll like this video. Here's some proof, some payment processes and stuff, so you know I'm legit. Whatever. Here's the quick story for context. I have never had a viral video. I like to think I'm pretty charismatic. I had studied copywriting for a very long time. I've been in advertising since I was 18 years old. I'm 25. I'm going great. This has been my entire life at this point. But I've never really had a viral video. I don't know what it is. Just the organic stuff has never been great for me. So I've always relied on solid paid ads and copy and sales skills to make the money that I've made. And as a result, I've gotten really good at running ads and running ads to an offer or a sales team or a webinar or a VSL or a DM messaging funnel. There's all kinds of different things we've done over the years. But the biggest thing is a lot of my best ads, when I actually looked back at them, I noticed that my click-through rate, my link click-through rate on a lot of them was like sub 1%. And what that meant was not a lot of people were necessarily clicking on my ads. So if I could increase that, I would get more people seeing my offer, more people booking in calls, more people inquiring about our services, and we make more money. That's the basic idea of what I did when I came into this experiment. And so I got annoyed. I was like, damn, I feel like I should get a higher click-through rate. I should have, a lower cost per call, lower cost per lead. And I started to think about what it is that I could do. And I realized that I took a lot of time making ads, a lot of time thinking about how to create ads. And I tried a lot of different things. It just took forever. I felt like the biggest, it was like climbing Mount Everest, trying to get new ads up and trying to bring that number up on the click-through rate side, the cost per lead or cost per DM or cost per book call down, and I just got fed up. And I realized that I needed to figure something out. And so I found two different things that helped me. Number one was aggressive hook testing, which I'll explain in a second. You're going to love this. And number two, the James is probably ugly and annoying thing. And I'll talk about that afterwards. But basically, here's what I learned. I was spending so much time writing ads and putting ads together to send to the media buying team to put them up just to see that they were getting the same fucking results as everything else I was doing. So I realized I needed to be able to do this faster and easier and make it less like the most painful thing known to man. So I got into something I like to call aggressive hook testing, which in very simple terms is a lot of people when they want to make new ads or they want to test new ads, they basically write all these brand new ads off the rip. So they write one ad from start to finish, another ad, start to finish, another ad, start to finish. They send them in for editing. And by the time it's been like 2 weeks, they've got 3 ads I've edited, and it just takes forever. And it's draining. And you don't want to do that because it takes too long. And what I found is this. All of my winning ads have been due to the hook, not the body, because the body has always been the same every damn time. Very lazy with the body of the hook, of the ad. The hook, which is the first 5, 10, 15 seconds, that was a thing that was different. And whenever I looked at the ads that performed the best, when I looked at the hook, it was a pretty good hook, And as a result, if we could test hooks really, really fast, you're going to find ones that make you more money, get you better metrics, and overall more ROAS and profit. So if you think about an ad, and we're going to use a VSL funnel for this video because for a lot of people who are on this channel, you're a high-ticket coach, you're running some sort of VSL funnel. And so you have your ad and you can break it up into a hook and a body. So your hook is usually the first 1 to 3 lines of copy in your ad, up to the first 15 seconds. I'm mainly talking about video ads here. And then the body is the rest of the ad, the call to action, all the proof, everything like that. So the hook is the first part, the body is the rest. And if we can't get people to listen to the hook, that first little section, good luck getting people to go out there and listen to the rest of it. Meaning, we want to make sure the hooks are really good. And so when I thought back to the fact that my click-through rate were profitable, we're doing really, really well, but I was like, dude, I know I can get better. I can get better results here. I know I can do something better. I realized that there was something going on in the hook because most people weren't sticking around to hear it and click through and see everything else. So the hook was the big thing I wanted to make sure I could test. All my winning ads have been due to the hook, not the body. So if we can test a bunch of hooks, we'll find our winner faster. So here's what I would do. I would create a massive list of hooks and then I would film those hooks individually. I wouldn't film an entire ad, I would film the hook. So 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds. And then I would attach it to a body, which I'll touch on in a second. So what kind of hooks should we use? what I found is there are 3 types of hooks that have done the best for me. Questions, call-outs, and statements. So, questions, one of my favorite ones that's worked the best for me in my market is, hey, do you have a spare hour per day? If you do, you're going to want to listen to this. So what happened is they hear the question, they go, oh, do I have a spare hour per day? Of course I have a spare hour per day. Another one is, hey, do you use social media? If you do, you're going to want to listen to this. So they go, oh, yeah, I do use social media. And then they listen because they just follow the command. But the funny thing is, a lot of these things is people do have a spare hour per day. I know they're on social media. If I say, hey, do you have an iPhone? There's a good chance you're watching it on an iPhone. You're going to go, yeah. You know, it's like the questions just engage the person off the rip, which make it a good hook. As long as it kind of makes sense in terms of the rest of the ad, you're going to be fine. In the case of do you have a spare hour per day, we're talking about a business model that takes around an hour per day, which is brilliant. The next thing is call-outs. So if you are a blah, 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 right? If you are a blah, blah, blah. So in my case, one of my best ones is, hey, if you're an Aussie too who still hasn't found a way to make money online yet, listen up. If you're an Aussie who still hasn't found a way to make money online yet, and you feel like you've tried everything, you're going to want to listen to this. So I'm calling out exactly who it is I'm wanting to speak to. Simple as that. But I don't take it and drag it for 30 seconds. It's, if you're this, listen up. That's it. And so each of these you can see, you can film it 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Doesn't take you long. It wouldn't take you long to sit down and write 30 of these and then film them because they're just 15 seconds at a time. Another one is statements. So over 2,000 Aussies are getting rich with this one stupid new system that you've never heard of. So if you're tired of getting stuck, not having enough money at the end of the week after paying your bills, stop what you're doing and listen to this because it just might change your life. And so it's a statement. I've added a little bit of stuff at the end there, but ultimately it's a statement. If you are this, or in this case, over this many people have done this thing, and if you're this, you want to listen up. So they're very short, they're very directed to the point. They're aggressive copy. They're very aggressive in terms of trying to get their attention, asking them a question, calling them out to get them listening to the hook. And then from there, we get them into the rest of the body. Now, the biggest thing is sit down and do 10 questions, 10 call-outs, 10 statements. Just think about your market. Think about if I was this person that I'm selling to, what would make me listen? What's a question that would make them go, oh, if it's a very mass market question, very mass market, B2C sort of market you're selling to, you can kind of go a bit more simple. But if you are working with a more B2B or a more niche industry, you might want to ask them a bit more specific to what it is that they do. Questions, call out statements, get a bunch of them together, put them into a list, and you can film them, and then that's it. A lot of my best ads that I've filmed that have done very, very well for me were actually ads that were actually filmed on a phone. And I would attach them from one to the other and put them together. So even if I had a professional ad, I would cut off the hook. I would film a bunch of selfies, right? Selfie videos for the hooks. Then I'd attach it to the body. So I would go from selfie style to pro shot, and it doesn't make a difference. So you can quite literally take the ads that are working right now, and even if you don't have a videographer on hand, you can just cut off the beginning of your ads and just find a good pivot point to go into the offer. Take that, and then film a bunch of different hooks, selfie style, attach them, and then see how they perform. But questions, call out statements, those are the hooks that I like to use. Now, all these ads speak directly to the person I'm selling to, gets enough curiosity. It doesn't sound super salesy off the rip. Even those things where, I'm talking about over 2,000 people have started using the system to make money, I'm at least adding in some curiosity so I don't sound super salesy. And it's something that you've never heard of. It's a stupid new system. So at least there's some curiosity there so it doesn't sound like I'm just trying to pitch them something they've heard before. Next thing is test screams, not whispers. My first mentor, Jason Capital, taught me this, test screams, not whispers. So you don't want to be going out there and having 30 different hooks you're testing, but they're all basically the same thing. You're testing one whisper for another whisper. So instead of, do you have a spare hour per day? You go, do you have a spare 60 minutes a day? Followed by, do you have a bit of spare time on your hands? Followed by, do you have time at all? It's like they're all the same thing. But if you go from, do you have a spare hour per day? To, are you still scrolling on your phone and not making money online? To, hey, listen to this. It's about making extra money. It could be anything. But at least trying things that are a scream compared to the last thing and the last thing and the last thing, you have so much more variety so that you'll find a winner. You won't just end up testing the same thing over and over and over again. A lot of my hooks, a lot of them don't do very well. Eventually, we find, say, 20 or 30, again, it doesn't take us long to do it all. I'm going to find one that does well. But I'll test a bunch of weird shit, a bunch of random shit. And my best one's like, hey, do you have a spare hour per day? Sounds stupid on paper until I tested it and realized that it was making a ton of money. Now again, film as many as possible and attach them to the body. Now, what is the body? The body is the rest of the ad. And I like to have a little pivot inside of the hook to make it make sense. So for example, do you have a spare hour per day? If you do, then listen up. Or, hey, are you looking to get started making money online with e-commerce but don't know where to begin? That's cool. Oh, no, that's cool. If that's you, drop everything you're doing and listen to this. There's just little pivot things that are just one line. You can spit them out really quickly, and then we can attach it to the rest of your body. Now, for my bodies, what I typically do is I'll go directly into my offer. So in my case, I will go into something along the lines of, we'll help you build an e-commerce business that makes between a certain amount per month in the next 90 days, or we'll work with you for free until you do. And you might be wondering, James, if this is so good, like how can you make such a bold guarantee? Well, it's because of our results. Here's results 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't matter if you're this, doesn't matter if you're that, doesn't matter if you're that. If it sounds like you, book in a free game plan call. We'll have a chat. We'll run you through how our program works, how our system works, and how you can get started. So a very simple ad. If you've seen a lot of those sort of Cole Gordon-y, VSL ads you see all over the place, we don't do anything too differently on the body side. Here's our offer, here's our proof, here's our guarantee, here's a couple of objections. Doesn't matter if you don't have time, doesn't matter if you feel like you've tried everything before. This system works if you're da-da-da-da-da, and if that's you, book a call, click below, and we'll have a chat. That's basically what the body is. But the reason why I like it is because if I lead with, we will help you, but I will help you, it means that I can go ahead and just have a little pivot. Listen to this, listen up. And then I can go directly into, I will help you, we will help you, blah, blah, blah. So that it all flows together, despite how crazy the hooks might be. And so what I wanted to do is, before I get into the next section, I wanted to show you an example of what this might look like. So here is a perfect example of a hook going into the body, which is the promise, the offer, guarantee, book a call, etc.
Hey, do you have a spare hour per day? If you do, keep watching. We'll help you build an e-commerce business that makes between 3 and 10K per month in the next 90 days.
Do you see how it just flows in? It just flows in. In fact, if I show you another hook, you'll see the hook is different, but it goes into the same body.
2,000 Aussies around the country have used my system to start making sales online hand over fist without ever having any experience or ever doing anything techie at all. And if you want to learn how to do the same, keep watching. We'll help you build an e-commerce business.
It's amazing because you can see that I can film a bunch of different hooks, and those were 10 seconds, 20 seconds each. And I sit down, I just rip a bunch of them, and then we just connect them to the same ad. We run them and we see which ones get the most clicks, most views, most people actually listening through to the end of the ad. And obviously we look at the metrics like calls booked, what was the cost of each call booked, and obviously show up rate, close up rate, etc. But the biggest thing you can see there is I can test a bunch of hooks that have the same ad, and I can get the same effect as if I was sitting there doing a bunch of ads and taking my time. We're able to do this very, very quickly. Now, once you do that, you just take the 20 to 30 ads you've created with that one body, you put them into a folder, right? Then you give it to your media buyer, or if you're running your ads yourself, you just put them into your own ads manager. What we usually do is put into a CBO with the same targeting that you've already been using that works well. So if you've got targeting, whether it's broad targeting or specific interest targeting, you have an LLA that you use, whatever it may be, if it's working, use that, and then we just test the ad creators. Put them in a CBO and let Meta just sort of spend and put it where it thinks it's going to do well. That's how I've usually found my best ones. You can go ahead and spend a certain amount per ad, and I think that can be good. If you want to do an ABO, that's fine. But usually I just put it in, I just let Meta rep because I just want to be lazy. Now, I do look at the leading metrics in terms of costs, the click-through rate, the CPMs, the cost per book calls early on. I also obviously look at the close rates and the ROAS at the end of the day. But look, if I'm seeing a lift in either the lead quality, so even if my cost per lead doesn't change much, but I'm seeing that more people are more excited about the offer, which I've seen multiple times because I've got better hooks, that's great because I'm making more sales, we're changing more lives, which is amazing. Or if you have an increase in lead volume, your cost per call has gone down, or your click-through rate's gone up, which means more people are going through to your VSL and booking a call. Whatever it may be, they're all wins. So you can scale them, assuming that you're profitable, and we've done that by sitting down, saying 15 little short things in front of a camera, and then attach them to an ad that we know works. Very, very simple, and that is the hook testing, and I think you can see how powerful this is. Now, number 2 is you're probably ugly or annoying, and this is a very funny one, because I was sitting there wondering, why is it that no matter how clever I am with my hooks, or how clever I am with the intros of my ads, or the copy that I write, why is it I can only get a little small improvement, no drastic improvements? And I was sitting there and I'm like, oh, what is this? And then I found out about VO3. So right now, obviously, I'm sure you're watching this sort of around the time of filming. That's not like, 3,000 years from now, hopefully not. But right now, VO3 is a big, big thing that's happening. Is we got these things like Google Gemini, where you can jump on, you pay a little bit of money, and you can basically have AI video created for you, which means you can get your copy said by any avatar in the world that you want in any location, whatever it may be. And so my theory was, as I was seeing all these memes and funny videos popping up, I'm like, what if I could just get somebody that doesn't look like me to say the same clever hooks? Would it be better? Would I be the problem? What if my face, what if my accent, what if my sort of, ADHD energy, what if that's the issue? And I tried it and it was fucking ridiculous. So what I did was I took the same hooks that were getting me a 0.5% click-through rate, 1% click-through rate, a certain amount per book call, and I basically took the same thing and I put it into VO3, and I used people who look like the people that I'm selling to and marketing to. So in my case, for this specific offer, it's for Australians, and Australians, they might be working in mining, they might be working from home, and so we've got different avatars, we've got guys, we've also got girls, we use all kinds, but we're looking for Australians speaking an Australian accent, and the craziest thing was, it was the same words. was the same hooks, but I guess I'm just ugly or annoying. One of the two. It was crazy. It went from like 0.5% click-through rate to over 3% click-through rate at scale, not like after one day. Like, it was consistent. It was scary. And as a result, we had a huge and consistent boost in ROAS, and nothing's changed since. And so what I do now is I create a bunch of different hooks, of course, but I will put them through VO and get a spokesperson to go ahead and speak to the customer, because I know I'm just annoying or ugly or my accent is irritating. It could be anything. And then what I do is I then pivot to my body as usual. So the one line that I sort of draw in the sand with the AI stuff is I'm happy to use it for a hook just to get someone's attention and then move to me. But if I was having all of my marketing sort of being an AI, not real person, I'd feel a little bit weird. I want to make sure that they still see me and they know who I am before they go ahead and book a call with my company and, spend thousands of dollars with us. It is very important to me that they see who I am. And look, a very short clip, no biggie, but if you did a whole ad, I think it'd be a little bit strange. Now let me show an example of what this looks like so you can see what it looks like with the AI hooks. Very simple. Watch this.
If you're an Aussie and you still haven't cracked making money online, this is for you.
We'll help you build an
Same thing, just using an AI avatar. It's the coolest thing in the world, to be honest. Bottom line is, like I say below, just trust me on this, give it a shot, because you can have bad to iffy hooks and you'll probably do a bit better if you just replace your face, because that may just be the issue. And I'm happy to say first and foremost that I'm probably a little bit ugly and annoying. And if you aren't getting the results you want, just try another face, try another accent and see how it goes. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you know how to create the right content, have the right avatar, have it look realistic. It's a big part of what I do with my clients. But at the end of the day, give this a crack. It is genuinely one of the coolest things in the world. And there you have it. Super simple, profitable video for you today. Apply it, thank me later. And if you're new here, my name's James. I have a $250,000 a month coaching business. I practice what I preach. That's how I'm able to give you this stuff in the first place. And I run a very private program specifically for people who are watching here on this channel called the Scaling Boardroom. What does it look like? It's very simple. You're a high ticket coach with an offer who's looking to scale to over 100 grand a month or beyond that. I go ahead and I work with you one-on-one. We have a bunch of fun. I teach you everything that I do in detail. We do one-on-one calls. I install these different systems into your business so you can make a ton more money and change a bunch more lives. If you'd like to find out more, you can have a call with me, not a sales rep or anything weird like that. You can book a time on the calendar below, have a chat with me. We'll go through your offer, your acquisition systems, the way that you get clients, retain clients, get results for your clients, everything under the sun. So you can scale to either 100 grand a month if you're not there already, or if you are over that point, if you just want to make a bunch more money, get more profitable, make everything more efficient, I've got a lot of stuff that I can share with you there as well, and it'll be a lot of fun. Now, if I can't get you an ROI in your very first month with just the basic swipe and deploy, do this, make money strategies, like this is probably one of 5,000 that I would give my clients. If I can't get you an ROI on what you pay me in the first month, just from little things like this, which is the tip of the iceberg, I will eat a shoe. I'm that confident. So feel free to book a call. I'd love to work with you. But for the rest of you watching at home, welcome to the channel. We've got a lot of bangers coming your way. We've got a bunch already. I think we're getting close to 10 videos now of pure source, and there's a lot more to come. But my name is James. Thank you very much. Please let me know how you go with this little strategy, and yeah, see you on the next one.